Imagine stepping onto a football pitch, and waiting at the center is a 10-foot-tall metal striker. It has the strongest mechanical legs ever built. But right now, it is completely frozen. It needs a signal to wake up. That signal is what we call an input. An input is simply a piece of information or a specific command that you give to a computer system so it knows what to do. Time for a quick quiz. If you wanted to send a command to a computer, which of these is an input device? A computer mouse or a football? You would use the mouse. Without a human using a device like a mouse or keyboard to send that initial spark of instruction, a computer system is just a heavy, quiet piece of metal. Once you click that mouse, the computer processes your command and takes action. We call that resulting action the output. To create an output in the physical world, machines use a special part called an actuator. Think of an actuator like the machine's muscle. In our robotic striker, the actuator is the motor inside its leg that swings forward. So here is your second quiz. When our striker's leg swings and blasts the ball into the net, is that action an input or an output? It is an output. This cycle, input, processing, and output, is the fundamental loop that powers all of our computer-driven technology. Typing on a keyboard is fine for a desktop computer, but manually typing out every command is far too slow for a fast-paced game. To keep up, we give computers sensors so they can collect their own inputs automatically. A sensor is a device that detects changes in its surroundings. For example, some cars use a light sensor to see when the sun goes down. When the sensor detects that it is getting dark, it tells the computer to turn the headlights on. Quiz 3. If our striker uses a camera to scan the field and spot the ball, is that camera acting as an actuator or a sensor? It is a sensor. By collecting data on their own, sensors give computers the data they need to perceive and react to their environment on their own. Sensors do not have to be attached directly to the machine you are holding. We can use remote input devices to send data over the internet from thousands of miles away. This allows us to work in environments that are far too dangerous for humans to stand in. When scientists need to measure the heat of an erupting volcano, they use remote sensors to monitor the situation from a safe distance. Quiz 4. True or false? Remote input devices only work if you are standing right next to the computer. That is definitely false. We use remote sensors to explore entirely different planets. This rover is packed with sensors and cameras that send data about the Martian surface all the way back to Earth. Because of the massive distance, it takes 22 minutes for a single input command to travel from a computer on Earth all the way to Mars. So, Quiz 5. Why do scientists use these remote robots on Mars or near volcanoes? Is it for safety or so aliens can play football? It is for safety. Remote inputs and the internet allow humans to operate machinery in places we cannot physically reach, even in deep space. Sensors are great, but they can break. Imagine if the ball hits the crossbar and bounces straight down. Did it cross the line? If the stadium relies on just one sensor and that sensor fails, we cannot trust the result. To solve this, engineers use multiple sensors to measure the exact same thing. Here, we have 3 separate goal line sensors. 2 show that the ball passed, but the third one flashes red because it has malfunctioned. Quiz 6. With conflicting data, which sensor should the computer system believe? The computer compares all the data at once. Because 2 sensors agree, it can see that the third sensor is wrong, ignore the mistake, and confirm the goal. Combining different streams of data like this is how engineers keep complex systems accurate and people safe. You do not need a space rover to see this in action. The exact same logic is running inside your house. Everyday smart devices like thermostats or automatic doors use these same rules to make life easier. Quiz 7. If you tell a smart speaker to play music, is your voice command an input or an output? It is an input. Whether it is opening a smart door or exploring the rocky craters of Mars, every piece of modern technology relies on this teamwork between inputs, sensors, and outputs. One last test. Quiz 8. What do we call a device that automatically detects changes in the world around it? It is a sensor. Once you understand this basic loop, you have the playbook to understand how almost any piece of technology in the world works.